Dad's voice trembled through the phone that morning, the same voice that used to command men twice his size in the workshop. "Our biggest client's about to leave," he said. "They're threatening to pull the entire contract." I stared at the half-finished cup of tea on my table. The steam was fading, like my patience had, long ago. "Let the Heir handle it," I said quietly. Then I hung up. He called back twice. I didn't answer. That was the day they realized what I had already accepted. I was done building an empire that was never mine. For years, the metal shop was my life. I started there at 19. Grease under my nails, sweat soaking through my shirt, dreams welded into the smell of molten steel. Dad called it training. I called it unpaid labor. But I didn't complain, because one day, he said, "This'll all be yours." He didn't mean it, of course. Fathers like him never say what they mean. They say what keeps you working. My brother, Imran, was the golden boy. The one who couldn't tell a lathe from a drill, but wore ironed shirts and spoke to clients like he owned the place. I covered for his mistakes, fixed his numbers, worked 80-hour weeks, sometimes more. Dad said, "You're both part of this. You'll share everything." And I believed him, like a fool believes promises made over tea and pride. The truth came quietly, the way betrayal often does. It was the accountant, a decent man, who slipped one evening. "You'll need your brother's signature if you want to access those accounts now," he said. "Why?" I asked. He blinked, uncomfortable. "Your father transferred ownership last month. Everything's under Imran's name. Everything. The land, the machinery, the clients I had brought in. All of it." I remember walking home that night, the world oddly quiet, like it knew something I didn't. I didn't rage. I didn't break things. I just sat down, poured myself a drink, and wrote a resignation letter that began with one word: enough. I didn't show up the next morning, or the morning after that. By the third day, they started calling. "Son, the workshop can't run without you. You're being emotional. Imran's still learning." I smiled at that last one. Still learning? After all these years, the Heir still needed my notes to understand how the machines breathed. I let them sweat. A week passed. That's when Dad called, voice trembling, pride cracked open. "Our biggest client's leaving," he said. "They're saying the new management doesn't understand the process." I stirred my tea, calm. Let the Heir handle it. They didn't know what I had done, because while they were celebrating the transfer, I was cleaning up my traces, quietly, methodically. I had written the manuals, coded the custom software that tracked inventory, maintained every client relationship personally, all under my credentials, my systems, my passwords, the kind that don't transfer automatically, not without me. I even knew which machines were due for maintenance, which raw material supplier always delayed shipments, and which client only stayed because of me. Knowledge isn't something you can sign over on paper. I knew exactly how long it would take before the system started bleeding. Imran tried to call next. His voice was arrogant at first. "We need your help, Bhai, just until we stabilize." I said, "You're the owner now. Act like one." Then he raised his voice. I ended the call. By the next week, the factory had stopped twice. Faulty calibration, missing supplier payments, delayed orders. Clients started looking elsewhere. The name that used to mean quality now stood for chaos. I didn't sabotage anything. I didn't need to. They just couldn't survive without the man they thought was replaceable. 2 weeks later, Dad showed up at my apartment. He looked smaller somehow. The man who once scolded me for taking a day off now sat across from me, hands shaking. "We made a mistake," he said. "Your brother's not ready. The business needs you." I watched him struggle to find the right words, not of love, but of convenience. You always said it would be mine, I said. Turns out it never was. He sighed. You're still my son. I was, I replied, until you sold me for family politics. There was silence, heavy, metallic, like the shop itself. He stood to leave, eyes wet. So that's it? Yes, I said. That's it. The shop closed 6 months later. The client who left hired me as an independent consultant. I rebuilt what mattered, my reputation, my peace. Sometimes I drive past the old workshop. The gates are rusting now. Weeds push through the cracks where I once stood for hours welding dreams into steel. I don't feel anger anymore, just a quiet satisfaction. You see, revenge doesn't always need fire or fury. Sometimes it's just silence, timed perfectly. And when Dad's number flashes on my phone every few months, I still answer the same way. Let the Heir handle it.